welcome back. So now that we have our Authguard up and running, there's a bit of things here I don't like to have in here. I actually want some of these to be put instead inside our auth service so that it can easily be called. So we're going to change that now. We're going to try and move at least this part into our auth service so that we can actually just call this part and get information from the auth service instead of using the Angular Fire directly here inside my program. Now, there's nothing wrong with using the Angular Fire on your own. I just like to have this in the service so I know that it belongs where I can find my information when I need this type of information. So let's just start out by grabbing this part of the service here and trying to use that. So going into my auth service, I'm going to make a new function here just saying is authenticated. Now the is authenticated is going to return an observable of the type Boolean. Just like we saw on the other side of this application right here, that's what we want to end up returning. Good, so let's try and return that Boolean now by actually doing this auth and just returning the actual state here. Now I just removed is authenticated is now going to return just the Boolean value, nothing else. But notice I just put this in here so I can always ask about authentication now anywhere I want to. And we're going to change the current user into that later as well because it looks a lot nicer doing it like this than actually having to, everywhere I need the user, I have to do an extra call. But we'll get back to that later. Let's fix our guard so that actually working instead of using the Angular Fire setup. That's going to use our auth service now. So I'll just write auth here and do a colon and write auth service. Now notice this is refactoring, and I really encourage everybody who writes code to do refactoring now and then. So I say auth service is authenticated, the one we just built. That's just going to return an observable, and that should be it. And of course you need to put this in front of your auth like always. I always keep forgetting that. So notice I just put the responsibility of actually how do we get is authenticated into the auth service. So now I don't need to actually add the Angular Fire all over my code. The cool thing is when we start working with other services later, like the mean stack, the men of mean, we might not have to change everything around because we can just reuse and recreate the auth service, and then the program can actually run. And notice now Firebase is gone from this function right here. So I just wanted to show you that. Let's try and see if things are still running as we expect. Can we go back? Nope. Can we go back? Nope. Let's try and log in. And the login still works. So everything is still running. The only change is we went in and we actually decided to move the part of the service into the authentication service actually. So see you next time where we'll play more with this.